Hi, everybody. It's Jamie here with Outlier Marketing Group. I am so excited to be here and talk to you about day 4 of our 5-day mini course on how to get your first opt-in funnel launched in 10 days or less. And so if you've been following along the past few days, I'm Jamie Palmer. I'm a business strategist and digital marketing strategist with Outlier Marketing Group. We've been in business for over 14 years and worked with lots of entrepreneurs along the way. And so today I really want to talk to you about traffic, tripwires, and testing. So if you've been following along, you probably have figured out what your opt-in is. You've probably figured out how to get it all set up on ClickFunnels. You understand why you need an opt-in, why you need to start collecting emails, and all that sort of fun stuff along the way. But the next thing that kind of happens once you get that opt-in up is a couple of different things. You need to kind of test what is working and what's not working in terms of your business copy, right? So the content that you're going to put out there and how you're actually going to get people onto that email list. And then you also figure out how you're going to get traffic there. So there's two kind of things that need to happen. So there's traffic that you have to send to this opt-in page, right? So like, how do you get traffic? I like to think of these things as a brand or a business ecosystem. If you've been following along with any of my stuff, you've probably heard me use both of those terms before. So that's one of the things that's super important. How are you going to get people onto that email list? That's where the traffic piece comes in. So when you do this, think things like social media, so Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those like fun little pieces along the way are all of the really like awesome things, like how you can get traffic, right? So those are things that you use. So social media is one. If you do an interview series, you can always link back to your opt-in. You have to think of your opt-in as the place where you should send all your traffic from a cold traffic perspective. And you want to just send people there, send people there, send people there. So whether it's Facebook ads or Instagram stories, Facebook lives, as you can see every day in the comments or in the caption that I've been doing, there's like grab the replay here with a bit.ly link. You have to remember that that link for that opt-in should be everywhere, because that's how you're going to get people into your funnel so you can market to them long term. And so that link should go everywhere. It should be a big part of what you do. And not to say that it has to be like this big, huge call to action. That's a mistake that I see a lot of people make. Everything that you do should not ask somebody to do something. It should be 1 in every 7 posts. It should be a really strong call to action to do something or to take action. But when you're posting on social media on a daily basis, like, it should be very subtle. It should be linked in your bio on Instagram. It should be linked in your bio on your business page. It can be in the information in the caption that you have there. And so those are the things to remember. Once you get an opt-in up, it's all about getting traffic there. Once you start having data around getting traffic there, that's where you can say, all right, when it comes to, say, Facebook ads or with social media, what language is working the most? And if I'm getting, say, 100 clicks a day onto my opt-in page, what is the percentage that's actually converting into somebody that signs up for my opt-in? Now, if you grab the share funnel that we shared with you, that opt-in generally converts for most of my clients between 30 and 50%. And so that is something that's so important to remember, to understand. Like, of 100 people that go to that page, you can expect 30 to actually sign up and give you their email address. And that's like totally normal. Some opt-in pages only convert at like 18 to 20%. And so you want to, number one, test that. And number two, you might also want to play around with and test the language that you use to get people, A, onto that opt-in page, and B, the title of the opt-in sometimes makes a big difference. So if you are not getting a 30 or a 40% opt-in rate when it comes to that page, right, then you might want to play around with the headlines. And of course, you don't necessarily need to change the headline of your opt-in, but it's important to remember that you might want to play around with like, what's that catch, right? And what is that catchy thing that's going to pull somebody in and make them say, yes, let me give you this email address, or yes, let me, take that next step and say, hey, I like you. I want what your content has. And in exchange, I'm going to give you my email address so you can market to me long term. And that's really where you can start to have some fun with the testing piece. The other thing that you want to test is if you're running Facebook ads, you might want to consider testing, well, you don't even want to consider, you definitely want to test like the audiences that you're running to. And again, I'm not going to go off on like a crazy Facebook ads tangent. I just want you to know that you should be testing, you should be cross-comparing, you should look at both the numbers, right? Got to look at the numbers and the data, but you also have to look at the the creative, right? Like, is this the right creative that's on this landing page? Those are things that are, it's the art and science of creating a funnel, right? So get traffic to that page, number one. Number two, get testing, right? Have fun testing. Now, one of the things that you might have heard me mention is something called a tripwire. Now, I'm not saying that as part of this 10-day launch your opt-in in 10 days that you should have a tripwire, but it's something like I like to break things down into small manageable pieces. And the reason why we break down the opt-in first and getting that done is so that can be checked off and you can start getting people on your email list. As an added layer and an added bonus on top of that, I highly recommend getting a tripwire, especially if you are going to be using Facebook ads or paid advertising at all as a way to continue to grow your business. Now, a tripwire is a low-cost item that you can put on the thank you page after somebody opts into your email address that says, hey, thanks so much for signing up. As an added bonus of a thank you, I'm going to give you this $100 or $200 product for say $7 or $17, okay? And that's what a tripwire is. The intent of a tripwire is to help pay for the ads, okay? And that's the biggest thing that I want you to understand. You don't have to have that in place, okay? It's an added bonus type of thing, like it's an extra thing. So don't let that stop you from launching, okay? So by this point in the next few days, you should be able to get that opt-in funnel up, no problem. That tripwire is something that once you get this up, you can focus on, right? And good tripwires are like potentially a workshop that you've done that you could repurpose and sell. Perhaps it's like a how-to series or a 5-part series. There's lots of different options with that. Again, remember 7, 17, 27. Sevens are super popular when it comes to that. And it should be available for only a limited time. I'll actually drop in the comments the image that I use that kind of explains the tripwire from a visual perspective in part of the whole funnel. But again, the thing that I want you guys to remember today is once you get these pieces in place, you can continue to add on layers and you can continue to build that ecosystem. And that is the most important thing. It's layer upon layer upon layer. And so don't feel obligated. I was actually on the phone the other day with a client of mine and she's awesome. And she's like, James, I think I went down a rabbit hole. And I hear that all the time. Don't go down the rabbit hole, right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to go down this rabbit hole of saying, oh my goodness, I really want to work on the content for my course, or I want to launch this group program, or I want to do this one-on-one coaching. But if you don't have this piece in place where you can start marketing to people and start getting their email addresses and start building those relationships, you're not going to be able to do any of the fun stuff later on where you can really like serve people in the way in which you imagined when you started your business. But you need to do this marketing piece first, right? And this isn't probably like doing an opt-in, isn't super challenging, right? Because it's kind of like a boring, it's not a super crazy, sexy, fun thing to do. But once you get it done, you can leave it there and you don't have to worry about it. Like it's good for a while. And that's the thing that I want you to remember, okay? It's get it done, get it finished, get it up, and then you can continue to add on these other layers inside of your business ecosystem, like the tripwire and the nurture sequence and all that other stuff that kind of comes again later on. So today, if you haven't already gotten your opt-in up, go watch yesterday's video on the technical piece and the technical know-how of actually getting the opt-in up so that people can give you their email addresses. And then start thinking about how you're going to get traffic there and how you can start to test. And if you feel so called, get started on your Tripwire. Feel free to drop any questions that you have inside the comments on this post. I'm so super happy to answer any of them that you might have. I would love to see your opt-in funnels. Share them with me. Let's do this. Let's get this piece up so we can actually start to have a list. If you don't already have a list, or if you do, it doesn't really matter. You still need this piece in place, because if you're going to grow, you need an opt-in, and you need an opt-in that's awesome. So share your opt-in with me. I'm super happy to give feedback, take a look at it, and who knows, maybe you'll get a few signups. So tomorrow is day 5 of our mini course, and it's going to wrap up our mini course. I'm so excited that everyone has participated in this, and it's been super awesome. So tomorrow we're going to talk about like action steps, like how to start, like from a here's what you need to do in a content workflow perspective. What are the things that you need to do to start to get people into that funnel, and all of the other crazy stuff to, you know, start making money in your business. That's the fun stuff, right? Because ultimately, all of us want to have a bigger impact and be able to serve more people. And so once you have this in place, you can start to focus on the other things in your business, like selling and prospecting and marketing, and have lots of fun with it and start serving more people. And so I want to say, have a happy, happy day, happy funneling, get those funnels up, get that opt-in done, and feel free to drop any questions that you have in the comments. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.